Hey everybody, it's Rachel with Rachel Q Stitches and welcome to my channel. Today is Tuesday, April 11th, 2023, and this is FlossTube 103. If you are new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. This is a channel mostly about cross stitch. Every now and then I might throw in some quilting or crochet or some other stitchy goodness, but for the most part, it is all cross stitch. I did work on a baby quilt, and I'm gonna, y'all will have seen a video at the beginning of me still machine quilting it. So I'm not gonna show it in this video, but there should be a little video right before you saw me here of it on the machine. So anyway, if you're a returner, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it. I appreciate each of you who come back every week and who leave comments and who leave likes and all that good stuff. I really, really appreciate each one of you. Okay, so let's get into cross stitch. I did not get a whole lot done this week. My husband is off, so he was off Friday. And so obviously, you know, he's wanting to do things. And so I don't get a whole lot of stitching done when he is home. If you're not new to my channel, you know this. My husband is a teacher, and so, you know, he's off for Easter break. So anyway, but I got a little bit done, and I did have a almost completion, almost. So let's get into that. So the first thing I'm going to show y'all is a mid-Amish life. This is a chart that originally appeared in Cross Stitch and Country Crafts in 1986 in 3 separate issues. This is a stitch piece. Originally it was in 3 pieces, and but they did have a suggestion for doing it as one big piece, and this is what this person has done here, and that is what I'm doing. So I finished all of the crosses on panel 1. I am so excited. All I have left is some back stitching to do. And so this is it. Look at this. So panel 1 ends about, well, it ends right here. See this? This is all panel 1. I got all the crosses done. All I have to do is outline the barn, this house and barn here, and this barn, and it is done. Now there are some French knots here, but that will be done at the very, very last. Look. Oh, I love it, love it. So this week, probably today, well, today I have some plans. I'll talk about those later, but this week I should be done with all of the back stitch and really, really get into doing panel 2. I'm so excited. Oh, that was my goal. I actually worked on this probably about an hour yesterday trying to get all the stitches in. So there it is. Yay. Oh, I'm so excited. So excited. Okay, so that was my almost finish. Excuse the mess, y'all. I just noticed how messy this is. I still have not finished organizing my room, so it's going to be a mess for a while. But anyway, finished. Panel 1, almost done. That was like a goal. I've been working on this. I believe I started it in October, and then shortly thereafter I discovered 25/7, and that's where I put this in my 25/7 piece. So it does get 25 minutes at least a day. Sometimes longer, sometimes less. Well, sometimes less. But then I make it up on another day if I don't get it in. Okay. The next thing I did, and I did not reach my goal for this week, is the Cross Stitch Studios Mystery Stitch Along. I do believe it is closed now. You can no longer get it. They are on part 7. I'm working on part 2. So my goal this week, which I did not meet, was to finish all of one color. I'm almost done. Almost done. I try to get 100 stitches a day on this. But I didn't get that done this week. But here it is. So this is part 1 right here, and I am working on part 2. I am working on color 677, which there's a lot of 677 in this top portion. I do believe from what I could see of other people's work, I am going to start having more colors pop. So I am excited about that. Well, of course, once I get past, you know, this top part, but right here, you can see this band. There's going to be a flower. So I'm looking forward to doing that. So when I work on a full coverage piece, I pick a color and I stitch as much of it as I can in the area that I'm working. I do not stitch in hand. I stitch in a hoop. Some pieces I stitch in hand. Some I stitch in a hoop. This I'm stitching in a hoop. So that's it right there. So exciting. Okay, so the next thing I worked on was God Shed His Grace. I am doing this with a couple of other people here on YouTube and some on Instagram, and I usually have them all linked down below if you want to see who else is working on it. I am working on a version. This is artwork by Abraham Hunter. I am working on the cropped version, which is by the Cross Stitch Studio. Artisy has a version. They have the large version and a medium version, I believe, but mine is cropped, so it's just one. It's a house and a barn. I'm just doing the house. So this is my version right here. And don't let it fool you. It's cropped, but it's still big. Biggish. Big. So this we work on Sundays, and the hashtag is God's Grace Sundays. And so this Sunday I got in exactly 100 stitches. And there it is. It was Easter, and so I didn't get a whole lot of stitching done on Easter. That's it. That's all I got done. Doesn't look much different. I picked a color, did 100 stitches, and called it done. I actually did 25 Sunday and 75 Monday. So I woke up at 3 a.m. Sunday, and so by the time we got home from lunch and everything, I was exhausted, so I slept. So that's it. Not much different. But there it is. I got 100 stitches. Okay. And the last part was a goal that I had set for myself to have this finished by April, end of April, which is not going to happen. I marked this, and I'm talking about City of Romance, or if you go on Stitch Rovia's Etsy page, it's called City of Love. This is it right here. I got mine out of the Cross Stitcher magazine. I had divided this up into 4 parts, and then each part into 5 parts. And my goal was to get it stitched, each part of a part, 4 weeks. It's not going to happen, but I do have to say I have enjoyed having a focus piece. I have 3 pieces that I want to finish. Well, let me show you. Let me show you what I did so far, and then we'll go on. So I made a mistake in choosing a color for one of these buildings, and I stitched it the color the adjoining building was supposed to be, so I had to move the adjoining building to the other building's supposed color, so it's not gonna look like a picture. So this is it right here. This is 14 count Ada. I dyed it myself. In case you're wondering, that's why there's big splotches everywhere. So this is it right here. And so let me go fold it. This is what I worked on right here. This is a building I stitched the wrong color. It was supposed to be these colors. So this building was supposed to be these color. Anyway, I did my own creative flair to it. So this is what I worked on. My goal was to be up to the tip top by the end of this week, which is Tuesday. Didn't happen, but I still got a lot done. I did some browns. I still do a lot of choosing colors and stitching as much as I can. So like I have a lot of this brown that needs to be stitched. So when I have a bunch of areas that need to be stitched in that color, I'll choose it and then I'll stitch it. So I still love this piece. I love the colors. I love really that you can change the colors of the buildings brown and nobody notices. So anyway, so I like I was saying, I like having a focus piece for the month. There are 3 pieces that I for sure want to finish this year. That's one of them. The other one is 'Tis the Season by Blackbird Designs. And then the other one is Christmas Garden by Blackbird Designs. I really, really want to have those finished at the end of this year. So I've decided that what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose one to be a focus for a month. Now we have what? 6 months left, 5.5 months left of the year. 6.5 months left of the year. 6.5 months left of the year. I figured if I kind of rotate those 3 throughout the time, I should get them completed. 'Tis the Season does not have a whole lot left. It's the bird and maybe one leaf. I'm not doing the words on the bottom, so I don't have to worry about that. And I'll have a picture of it. So it's kind of, you know, I don't have a whole lot. So I think I can do that every month. Just choose one that I'm going to try to touch every day and get that complete. So that's kind of my my goal, which kind of segues into my big goal that I'm going to be doing. And this is going to include quilting and cross stitch. I will be 54 on May 30th. So in 6 years, I will be turning 60. Now, I've been watching Beth. If you don't watch Beth, the Steadfast Stitcher, Beth is turning 60 this year, and she is doing 60 new starts. I've decided I'm not going to do that. More power to Beth, because I don't know if I could do that. But anyway, so that's what Beth is doing. And she's kind of got me thinking about it since, you know, in 6 years, I will be 60. So do y'all see where I'm going with this? My plan is to have 10 finishes a year. So that by the time I turn 60, I will have 60 finishes. I think my math is correct. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me. But my goal is to have 60 finishes by the time I'm 60. Now, in cross stitch, those can be anything from an ornament to pandemic, which hopefully pandemic is done by the time I'm 60. That's actually another goal. I want to have that finished by the time I'm 60. It's huge. So anyway, so I have those in cross stitch. So between an ornament to pandemic size, I want to do 10 a year. So if I finish 10 ornaments a year, I'm doing good. And in the process of that time, hopefully I'll get some of these other pieces finished too. So I do have 3 sets of the 12 Days of Christmas ornaments that I want to get done. So that in and of itself is 36, half of what I need to get done to reach this goal. I will be buying me a spiral notebook to keep track of what I've, a spiral, like a scrapbook, I should say, to keep track of what I'm doing. In quilting, I want to have the same thing. But, okay, so in cross stitch, they're not going to be fully finished, just stitched. I want to have them stitched. Hopefully I will get them fully finished, but if they're just stitched, I'm happy. Quilting, I want to do the same thing, but I'm going to do 10 quilt tops completed a year. I can do a baby quilt top, not the whole thing, not quilting, not binding, in a day. It's not that hard, especially if it's a fairly easy quilt top, which most of my quilts are scrappy, so they're not very complicated. They're very easy. I can do a quilt top probably in a week if I just put my mind to it. Like this baby quilt that I'm making for our first grandchild. The top took me a day. I mean, it took me like 3 hours to do. No problem. Easy peasy. So that's my goal. So quilt tops, anything from a doll size, because we're having a granddaughter and she's probably going to want doll quilts soon. Anything from a doll size to a king size, because I do want to make my kids quilts for their beds. I don't think any of them have king size, but you never know in what can happen in 6 years. So those are my goals for quilting and cross stitch. Is by the time I'm 60, I want to have documented 60 finishes in each one. Finished cross stitching and quilt tops. Hopefully during that time, I'll get some of those quilt tops quilted, but that's not part of the goal. That's just, I have a lot of fabric that I've inherited from my mom. I have a lot of my fabric that I purchased when we lived in Tennessee. We had fabulous thrift stores that had people would donate quilt fabric, or okay, so that's another thing for quilting and for the cross stitch. It can be something that's already in progress, whether I picked it up halfway done at a thrift store or whether I've already started it. So it can either be a new start or something that's already started. So anyway, back to the thrift stores. I've purchased quilt kits that people have started and never completed. Sometimes the blocks just need to be sewn together and that's it. They fell out of love with it. They donated it to a thrift store. I purchased it. So that is my plans of what I want to do. So I hope y'all join with me. I hope I'm still doing videos in 6 years. That would be fun. Y'all get to see me age in 6 years. And y'all get to keep me accountable. Hey, Rachel, how are those 10 quilt tops going? So those are my plans, my big plans for when I turn 60, which is still 6 years away. So I'm looking forward to these plans. I'm looking forward to getting some quilt tops done. I'm looking forward to seeing if I can do 10 finishes a year, which I know I can. Like I said, if they're ornaments, I shouldn't have a problem. Plus I have pieces in progress that need to be done. So anyway, so starting May 30th, that is when my plans will start. Like I said, I will get some scrapbooks to keep track of what I'm doing, one for quilting and one for cross stitch. I think that's how I'm going to do it. I don't think I'm going to put them together. So anyway, so those are my plans. I will make a hashtag for that. Haven't decided exactly what that's going to be. So if you're on Instagram and you want to follow that, you can. So anyway, that is all I have for stitching this week and plans. And like I said, quilting, hopefully making all these quilt tops will get rid of some of this fabric and the mess that I have everywhere and the piles and whatnot. So that's kind of my thing. It's like, I need to get some stuff made. I have tons of 18 count Aida that I need to use up. I need to start using my stuff and stop buying. Oh, that's another rule. I can't buy anything. So in cross stitch, I'm allowing myself replacement floss and replacement fabric. I have a ton of 18 count Aida, which is my preferred stitching. I will stitch on a 28 count even weave if it needs to be an even weave. If I can get away with Aida, I will get away with Aida. But if it's got to be something like even weave, that will be a 28 count. Although a mid-Amish life, I believe, is on a 32 count, which I'm okay with. It's all right, but I'd rather a 28 count. So I can only buy fabric and floss. I have a ton of patterns, and I have been purchasing some in anticipation. So cross stitch, the purchasing aspect of it isn't very, it's not hard, it's not set in stone. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not, I need to slow down. It's not set in stone. Quilting, I have enough fabric. I do not need to be buying fabric. The only kind of fabric I am allowing myself to buy is background fabric, which is, this is all I have in whites and off-whites for background fabrics. So I know that I'll be needing to buy more of that, but I have enough of just regular fabrics. Oh wait, I see another drawer of background fabrics up there in that cabinet that I used to sit in front of. Okay, never mind. But that's still something I allow myself to buy. And so, and batting. If I need batting, of course, if I'm finishing it, I'll need that in thread. So quilting has a little bit more hardy rules than cross stitch. But I have enough patterns. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not going to buy patterns, because I might. I'm not going to never say never, right? So anyway, all right, that's all I have for stitching. That's it. That's all I have, I promise. So if you're here just for the stitching and you've actually listened to me babble on about my plans for the time I turn 60, thank you so much. I'm going to go into personal life. There's not a whole lot, I'm going to go into personal life, and then we will, I'll say I do. All right, personal stuff. Not a whole lot. My husband's been off. We've just been kind of doing household things, getting the house ready for the baby. For those of you that are new, my son and his wife are having a baby Monday. Monday is the scheduled date. She's her due date. And so we're having a baby. They live with us. So we are getting the house ready. I am trying to step back into granny mode, not so much into mama mode, letting mama take reins. She is a fabulous mama to be. She's doing an awesome job. And so I'm just letting them do their thing, and I'm just doing what I need to do to prepare my house for the baby. So that's one reason I'm getting this, trying to get this room set up, everything gone, So we're just waiting for baby. My daughters-in-law and I and my daughter are going to lunch. We try to have a girls' lunch. I try to get it done once a month just to kind of keep connection with in the family. We don't do a whole lot as a family. You know, holidays, every now and then I'll have a family dinner, but it's not like, you know, we get together all the time. But, you know, with all of them having families elsewhere, I try not to insert myself into their plans. I tell them the plans. If they're going to another family, it's another family. I can't say no. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be that mama. I'm not going to guilt trip them to come visit me, if you know what I mean. So anyway, so that's all we've been having done. My husband's home. He's getting some housework done outside. He needs to pressure wash the back patio and get all that done. And so anyway, so that's all we've been doing. Not a whole lot. This is a short video. I didn't do a whole lot of stitching. I don't foresee myself doing a whole lot next week. I am going to try to make a video next week. Like I said, she goes in for a C-section Monday. So we will see if I make one Tuesday. You know, she's going to be in the hospital, so it's not like I'm going to be there the whole time. I might make a video. It might be very, very short, but I will try. And if not, I'll see y'all week after next or whenever. I'll try to keep you guys updated through Instagram and with the community tab here on YouTube. Let you know when our little granddaughter makes her entrance and just kind of keep y'all updated on that. So we're looking forward to that. Anyway, that is it. That's all I have. Thank you, everybody, for coming and visiting me today. Thank you for all your comments. Like I said, I really, really appreciate that. It means a lot to me when you comment. I'm trying to get better at replying, but like I said, life has been nuts. So anyway, that's it. That's all I have. I'm just kind of babbling right now. But that's all I have. Thank you so much for visiting me. Thank you for stopping by. And I hope to see you all next week, Lord willing. Happy stitching, everybody. Bye-bye.